רודי ג'וליאני מותח ביקורת על עריכת החקירות של ראש הממשלה נתניהו. ג'וליאני נפגש השבוע בירושלים עם ראש הממשלה ואמר אחר כך כי החקירות נגד נתניהו נגועות במניע פוליטי. ג'וליאני, המשמש עתה יועץ קרוב של הנשיא טראמפ, אמר כי טראמפ ביקש ממנו להזמין מישראל מומחים לאבטחת מחשבים לכינוס שיערך בארצות הברית בתחום הזה. בראיון עמנו מתח כאמור ג'וליאני ביקורת על החקירות המתנהלות נגד ראש הממשלה נתניהו.
I find this whole situation of the so-called investigation of him outrageous.
In Israel?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think it embarrasses Israel because it's making a mountain out of a molehill. I mean, criminalizing politics is a terrible thing. Politics is tough enough anyway. But all of a sudden, if we're going to start dealing with cigars and gifts and, I mean,
champagne
from good friends, when the law allows that, and you have to interpret it in a certain way in order to get to another result, with the things that we have to deal with in this world, Iran being nuclear possibly, Islamic terrorism, poverty, economic development, cybersecurity, cybercrime, and we're spending our time on cigars and champagne from a good friend. It seems to me something's out of whack and somebody's being too political in the way they're dealing with it. I've known Prime Minister Netanyahu for 25 years, and he's an extremely honest, honorable man.
Are you interfering, Mr. Mayor, with the Israeli laws or Israeli procedure, judicial procedure, police inquiries?
I'm a lawyer, so as a lawyer I'm entitled to have my opinion, right? In the United States I'd be entitled to have my opinion about a case and express it, and free speech gives me the right to have my opinion. So I don't think I'm interfering, I think I'm just expressing my opinion, and I think both in Israel and in the United States we have a right to express our opinion. And my opinion is that this case is making a mountain out of a molehill and is politically inspired. And I think most people in America look at it that way.
So I understand that one of the purposes of your visit is to defend Prime Minister Netanyahu.
No. I only really thought about it when I got here. The primary purpose of my visit was actually to do legal work for several clients here in Israel. The secondary purpose was to meet with the Prime Minister to get his cooperation for our cybersecurity commission that President Trump specifically asked me to do. And the third purpose was to meet with him and share some ideas with him that I have.
Have you conveyed to Mr. Netanyahu a special message of Mr. Trump, the president?
If I did, I wouldn't share it. And I know from President Trump's point of view, who's a very close friend, and I just spent 100 days campaigning with him, that he came away with a very good feeling about Prime Minister Netanyahu. He admires him quite a bit.
How do you assess the forthcoming meeting between President Trump and Mr. Netanyahu?
I think it's going to be very productive. I think they both have the capacity to look at problems in globally in a complex way, and I think the two of them together, collaborating, will be very helpful. Plus, President Trump is surrounded by a group of people that are very pro-Israel and who have a lot of ideas about Israel. And obviously, Prime Minister Netanyahu has people around him with many ideas about Israel. So I think it can be a very good collaboration.
How do you see for instance, the problem of settlements?
President Trump, I think, looks at it as this is a decision Israel has to make. Israel is a sovereign country, and we are going to support Israel in making the decisions that Israel believes are necessary for its own defense. If there are objections, or we have a different opinion, that'll be conveyed secretly and privately, rather than openly.
Are there any objections now?
I don't think there are any at all. When when settlements were made in the past under Obama or extended, Obama, Kerry, Clinton would condemn them. You'll notice that several days ago, when one of the settlements, I think 2,500 more homes are being built, the White House had a very, very, I think, very significant comment. No comment. But I would say that his general philosophy is that let Israel make their decisions about their security and support it. The public kind of disagreement that was going on is over. We're back to what I told Prime Minister Netanyahu and several other Israeli officials and citizens is we're back to the good old days. This is going America and Israel are going to have the relationship that we've had now for many decades under Republican and Democratic presidents, where we support each other.
I am under the impression, Mayor Giuliani, that the president maybe have second thoughts about his promise to move the embassy, American embassy, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
I don't think he has second thoughts about it. I think he made the promise and he'll keep the promise. I think he wants to execute it in a way that helps the whole situation and doesn't hurt it. And therefore, I don't think he would do it until he met with the Prime Minister and he could talk it out with him privately. President Trump is very, very committed to keeping his promises. It's almost as if he has a checklist, and as he keeps the promise, he checks it off. So I'm certain he'll keep this promise. The question is how to do it.
Are you worried by the idea of building a wall along the border between Mexico and the United States?
No, and I'm surprised that the Mexican president being as upset about it as he now says he is, because I was with...
He canceled his meeting with President Trump.
Yeah, which to me is a change of position. When we met with the president of Mexico, when Donald Trump was a candidate, he said that he couldn't object to our United States building a wall on our territory, because that's our decision. It's a wall built on our territory. He did object to his paying for it, and that there's a disagreement about.
Why should Mexico should pay for a wall which is built on American soil?
Because they're the ones who are violating the law over and over again coming across our border. They're requiring us to build this wall. ISIS has said that it will utilize that passageway as a way of bringing terrorists into the United States. And we have over 1,000 Islamic terrorist investigations in the United States already.
How many?
1,000. The FBI announced back last summer that there are 1,000 active investigations of radical Islamic terrorists. And ISIS and several other radical Islamic terrorist groups have said that they'll use that tremendous opening that we have, that tremendously open border, in order to infiltrate.
Mayor Giuliani, what will be your function or task within the Trump administration?
Well, I'm not in the administration. I'm a private citizen, so it gives me the freedom.
You are a lawyer?
I am a lawyer. I'm a cybersecurity consultant. I'm a security consultant. I'm with Greenberg Traurig, which has a wonderful office right here in Tel Aviv, which gives me an excuse to come to Israel 2-3 times a year, which I do. I am going to head the private cybersecurity committee for President Trump and bring all of the cybersecurity companies together.
In America?
In America, and he specifically asked that I reach out to Israel and bring in some Israeli companies, because President Trump is aware of the fact, and he knows quite a bit about cybersecurity, by the way. He's aware of the fact that Israel is at the cutting edge in terms of solutions to cyber defense.
I thank you very much, Mayor Giuliani.